Welcome to What About 505. Here are some of the latest boxing news. What is next for Canelo Alvarez? Canelo Alvarez solidified his status as boxing's premier star with another thrilling Mexican Independence Day weekend fight in Las Vegas. In a dominant display, Alvarez retained his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles with a decisive victory over Edgar Berlanga on Saturday at T-Mobile Arena. The fight featured a spectacular third-round knockdown, showcasing Alvarez's superior skill and power. Despite being a heavy underdog, Berlanga managed to go the distance, but never posed a real threat to Alvarez. With this win, Alvarez remains the undisputed king at 168 pounds, while Berlanga drops to number 6 in the rankings. With this one-sided showcase behind him, the spotlight quickly turned to what's next for Canelo Alvarez, with a record of 62 wins, 39 by knockouts, 2 losses, and 2 draws. There is no confirmation of when or with who, but we have to wait until next year. But what are the real options for Canelo at 168? Abel nor Pacheco are considered capable enough to face Alvarez. Alvarez might also seek a rematch with Dimitri Bivol if the WBA light heavyweight champion triumphs over IBF/WBC/WBO title holder Artur Beterbiev in their highly anticipated 175-pound unification bout on October 12th at Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Still, those fights may not be a big money-making incentive for Alvarez, but one with Terence Crawford is a different thing. Like Alvarez, Terence Crawford is a 4-weight world champion and consistently ranks among boxing's elite pound-for-pound fighters. However, to challenge Alvarez for his super middleweight titles, Crawford would need to move up 2 weight classes, this being a significant weight leap. As we see it, Canelo has 2 options: avenge his loss to Dimitri Bivol and close that chapter, or take the big money that a Crawford fight will represent. Daniel Dubois is ready for Anthony Joshua. Frank Warren, who promotes Dubois, says Dubois learned a lot from the defeat to Usyk. Daniel Dubois is a young man still who's had a couple of good wins against undefeated fighters. Hrgovic, Miller, to get himself into a great position, Warren told ESPN. People see him as the underdog against AJ, but he has recently turned 27, and he's matured a lot over the last year. There's a lot more about him than when he fought Usyk. He's the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, plus he's got a really good jab, which he showed to beat Hrgovic, who is a really good boxer. For me, this fight is about heart and mind for both Daniel and Joshua. I've seen AJ on the back foot versus Andy Ruiz and Usyk, and he's not happy with it. And I hope AJ does start throwing his right hand, because he will be vulnerable then to counter punches from Daniel. And Dubois added, "I've got to make him quit, break him down." That's my mindset going into this. Making him quit, breaking him down, Dubois said of AJ. "I believe I can. I'm turning it around now at this stage of my career. I've come through my ups and downs, just turning it around. I'm in a good place now and I'm ready to fight." Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos added to the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul undercard. On Monday, Paul's Most Valuable Promotions revealed that the highly anticipated fight card featuring Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will also include a WBC welterweight title bout between Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos. Mario Barrios claimed the WBC interim welterweight title a year ago with a unanimous decision victory over Yordenis Ugas. He successfully defended his interim belt in May, securing another decision win against Fabian Maidana. In June, Barrios was elevated to undisputed WBC welterweight champion after Terence Crawford moved up to super welterweight. "I'm thrilled to be part of this once-in-a-lifetime event," Mario Barrios said. "The fight on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson card is huge, with millions watching live on Netflix. Abel Ramos is a tough Mexican fighter, just like me, so I know it'll be a hell of a fight in front of my Texas people at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I'm also excited to showcase my indigenous roots on this global platform. Don't miss this fight. It's going to be war, puro San Antonio. I'm very excited to be fighting for the UBC title, and I'm looking forward to a great fight against Mario Barrios," Abel Ramos said. "He's a warrior just like me, and I'm going to give the fans at Cowboys Stadium and those watching around the world on Netflix an exciting fight on Friday, November 15th. IBF won't sanction Cacace versus Warrington. Anthony Cacace captured the IBF junior lightweight title on May 18th by defeating Joe Cordina. According to IBF rules, he must defend his title against the top available contender within 6 months, setting a deadline of November 18th. Cacace was expected to be notified of his mandatory defense against the number 1 ranked junior lightweight contender, Eduardo Nunez, around September 19th. However, the IBF is aware that Cacace is scheduled to defend his his IBO junior lightweight title against Josh Warrington on September 21st in London. With Nunes's consent, the IBF has allowed Cacace to participate in this non-title bout under specific conditions. If Cacace loses to Warrington, the IBF title will become vacant immediately. If Warrington wins, the IBF title will also become vacant immediately. If Cacace wins, he must defend his IBF title against Nunes within 180 days by March 20th, 2025. The IBF will not entertain any further requests to delay this mandatory defense, including for unification bouts. Both Cacace and Warrington must agree in writing to these conditions for the IBF to sanction the fight. It's for the IBO world title. The IBF isn't on the line. Cacace told BBC Sport, "I'm not satisfied with just being champion. I want to beat these top guys and continue doing what I'm doing." That's all the news we have for you right now. Until next one. If you like this content, consider to like and subscribe.